I should share it, right?
Yeah, I can do yours too. Yeah. All
Oh
right,
yeah.
I'm pulling up our song.
Okay.
Thank you, God, for what you done, for your grace, for your love. You picked me up when I was down. You chose me to change my life. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. All the days of my life, you'll be with me. My life is yours, for you die out for the work you got me down. Anoint my head, protect my all the gifts I need just right. Surely goodness and mercy to follow me. All the days of my life, you'll be with me. You chose 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 me.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. That was Sabin from Last Days. I'm trying
Straight
to get
up
the band out.
metalhead. Yeah. Work it.
Or the yeah. Today we have a special guest with us. His name is Matt, and he is from Chemical Empire. And we're super excited to have him. We played his song last week, Cold Wave. And actually, I think 2 weeks in a row we played his song.
We did, and I played it on the Indie Rock Revolution
So
about
I'm gonna
25 minutes ago.
yeah yeah. So we're gonna bring him on. So here he is.
What's up, Matt?
Hey Matt,
What's up? Hello.
how's it going?
It's going.
We are super excited to have you today as our guest.
Thank you.
Now we learned something
Probably
just a
lagging
minute
a little
ago.
bit. So
You're lagging, I can tell. But we learned something a minute ago. You're a one-man operation, Matt. Is that true?
Yes, it's me.
That's just you. Chemical Empire is Matt. That's it.
Right. I mean,
That's amazing.
I do bring people on to like help with certain things, you know, maybe like I have one friend who is like a major shredder, so he'd come on and do like a shred or something for me every once in a while. But outside of it, it's just me.
Awesome,
Solo
man.
project. Yep.
Awesome. You make a lot of noise for one man.
Yeah.
right.
Outside of the music too.
Right. Yeah. I hear that. Hey, Piper.
How did you come up with Chemical Empire?
I don't know.
The name.
Well, everybody,
Just-
everybody
is like,
asks
this
me
is
that. I
cool.
knew. Listen, before this happened, I was thinking, I wonder what questions they'll ask. I'm like, the first, I'm like, as long as they ask me what does Chemical Empire mean, it will be good. It's the first, right? You come out the gates with that one.
Yeah, that's
So,
we've been curious. Yeah.
Well, I've tried to explain it a lot of times. But you know, the truth of the matter is, I really don't know. It's whatever you want it to mean. I mean, when I first did it, you know, I'm thinking about just like my take on the world we live in today. You know, there's a lot of bullshit happening, and a lot of the way that you know, there's a narrative that we all have to sort of fit into, and it basically everything kind of feels like scripted, and the chemical part is sort of like when you think about not say like me, but you know, there's like conspiracy theorists about like things they put in your food and stuff to get you in line and all that jazz. But you know, it's like a take on that, I guess. Not like too deep. Don't think too hard into it. It's just a name I liked.
It's cool.
Okay.
I see the dog slid up on us back there, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a
Saturday
Saint.
gonna be doing that.
Is it a Saint Bernard, man? What the heck is
Yeah,
that? Man?
he is.
He got a
He's
saddle?
huge.
Yeah.
No, he could.
It looks like it, yeah.
Hello, Braden. Hello, Piper.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. I didn't know any of that. I figured you would have some like crazy story as to why your name was Chemical Empire. So that's cool.
I actually, before that, I had a name that I was using for my last project. It's also on Spotify. It was called Dead Echoes, but I wasn't singing on that one. I really liked that name a lot because that one really had a meaning to it. But I didn't want to start a new project where I had someone else singing on that and then I come in on this. I felt it would kind of like sort of taint what we did over there. So, you know, when bands switch up vocalists or whatever in the middle, I didn't want that. So I just started a new thing and was just trying to think of something that was different, that I could relate to, that was like open for interpretation and that nobody else was doing, and came up with that. So I think a lot of bands do that. They come up with a name that they think sounds cool, and then they have to try to write a backstory to it. And I'm not doing that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Where are you located?
Ohio.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's boring
Okay.
here, so
And how's the
there
rock
wasn't
scene?
much for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in
Right?
Toledo. I have a lot of friends who do music, so I see what they're working on. But as far as the local scene, it used to be big out here. It's not so much anymore. So I mean, I really wouldn't want to like comment on it. I don't really know what's going on too much. I think it's the majority of it at this point is cover bands.
That's everywhere right now, man.
Yeah,
We're trying to push back the get original stuff back into performing. You know what I mean? I don't know what's up with these venues.
Well, I think there's a lot of issues right now with camaraderie, you know, amongst bands. We're back maybe like, you know, a decade ago or even before that, 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago, when the local band scenes were really popping off and everybody was in it together, booking shows together, supporting each other. And the way that the industry has changed now, where it's a battle for those, 10 seconds of TikTok and YouTube and whatever you can
Right.
squeeze out of somebody, has turned it into more of a competitive field when really we're not competing against each other. It's just, that's how it feels, I think, to a lot of musicians.
Yeah, I think it's starting to come around though. It seems like the indie scene is kind of teaming up a little bit, you know, against
Well, I hope so.
against the mainstream. You know what I mean? I feel like that's happening. It feels like something big's coming, you know.
Yeah, that'd be great. I hope so.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's gonna go back to how
Right.
it used to be. There's no way. I just don't see like a path there at this point.
there isn't like it's not like a big thing anymore. If that makes sense. Like you don't sign with big leopard record deals anymore and get all this money and get all these deals and do all these things. I feel like that's just really dying out. So it's pretty much like everyone for themselves, which isn't a bad thing. I
No.
dropped something.
What-
Sorry.
Also, right now, it's never been easier to put a song out and self-publish, and a lot of people can do it. And even writing a song is pretty simple now when it comes to the software that you use. You can write a whole song and not know how to play a drum, a bass, a guitar, keyboard, or anything, and
Right.
it'll come out sounding professional. So I think that there's a lot of people who, or a lot less people who are becoming actual musicians, actually picking up and getting skilled at a guitar, competing against their buddies or whatever. Everyone's just kind of tucked away in the basement and then, trying to write bangers. It's just my take.
Right.
It's from what I see.
No, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually like
Yeah.
growing up, and then now you're like, oh,
Yeah, well, the internet kind of
doing this.
changed.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing, is that especially with so much content out there, and I thought it was like 11,000 or some number new songs on Spotify every day. So can you imagine? There's an unlimited supply of new music for you. Even if you popped off with a song like, somebody came out with something like Cold Wave, for example, my song,
Right.
and everyone's like, I love this song, dude, my new favorite band or whatever, and they can save it in their playlist. But the amount of new music that keeps coming at them, they may not even go back to that song in the playlist, because they're so busy
Right.
finding new music nonstop. Everybody's releasing songs, and that's just they have to find a new way to monetize whatever else is left out there, obviously, besides touring and merchandise, because that's not cutting it. So I don't know who's going to figure that out, but somebody needs to. We need rock stars again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your song Cold Wave. Can you tell us about that before we play it?
Yeah. So when I write my songs, they're always about something that either I have experienced or relate to in my journey. And Cold Wave is about battling your own depression. And it's a little different. I'm a little bit older. I've been doing music for over 25 years. And so like today, the whole depression and suicide epidemic that's going on is a little bit like different, because I think some people, I don't want to get into all of it, but I think there's a little bit more that can be managed a lot easier today. You know what I mean? I think you kind of like feel what I'm saying.
Yes.
I've always looked at it
Yeah.
like it's a mental thing, like it's mind over matter. Like everyone should be able to, nobody should ever be sad or depressed, until I actually went through it. Then I was like, okay, like this is like some real shit. It's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to like actually take
Mhm.
part in it to really feel it. And then it hit so hard that I put it into a song. That's kind of how I channel my emotional energy, I guess. Yep.
Love the
Okay.
song, man. It's great. Yeah.
Well, I'm right. I'm gonna play it so people that are watching can hear it. So let's do it.
Excited. Let's go.
Pound it. You guys are on top. I don't know. Yeah.
Body's lying awake, alone and wanting to break. I wanna feel so alive, but when I open my eyes, I know I can't see the light, 'cause I'm so dead inside. I hate what my life became. No matter what I do, it always stays the same. Trying to make good whatever days remain, but if I take my own life, I can stop the pain. I can't go on, all hope is decay. I fight for my life on the edge of the blade. I need to be safe from the voice in my brain. I've been trying to push back, but feels like a cold wave. When I'm barely awake, infecting me with all that you are. It hits me like a freight train. I'm standing right in the way. Your world has left me holding these scars.
Yo.
Okay, so I'm sorry if it was laggy.
It was interesting.
I don't know why it's really done for me tonight, but
It sounded good
like
to me.
was it laggy for you, Jeff?
It was not.
To me, on my end, it sounded like a haunted carnival, you know, like where the music like slows down. It's like,
Oh, yeah. Oh shit. No, it sounded great. It sounded great over here on my end. So yeah, it sounded good on my end. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it was like that
Yes,
for everybody then.
My way, the way I heard it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Adam said he digs it. Adam is the lead singer for Everfelt.
Awesome. Thank you.
So he liked it.
He also said his end wasn't like
Honestly,
either, so.
Adam, this is probably your okay, good. This is probably Adam's like I don't know, he's been here for every single live, so he's probably heard your song probably 3 times now. So that's cool. Jeff,
Yes, ma'am.
did you have any questions about the song or anything?
Uh, no, I
Shake
mean,
it
I
up.
think
Let's
he's,
hear it.
Shake it up a little bit. Come
yeah, I
up with
think he
some crazy
come up with
questions.
something
So
crazy.
when
Okay.
people, yes. So when my people watch it, because they've already heard all these questions, you know,
Right, right.
let's do some weird. Ask me some weird stuff. Let's
Yeah.
have some fun here.
Well, I've got one that I'm wondering because you're a one man
Ask
deal. Do
me
you
some
perform live? Do you do live performances? I mean, how do you?
So I just started. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna do like karaoke or anything like
Right,
that.
right.
No, I just started this in October. I've been
Okay.
writing these songs for a long time, for a couple years, but slowly working towards an album in the studio. It's just kind of going a little slower than I do it when I have time. This isn't like I'm chasing a dream or anything. I just love music and just
Right.
so whenever I have time, I work on it. But I do have enough songs for an album. They just have to go through the studio process, which is a little slower. But when the time comes to play live, I'll have people fill in the spots.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, that's okay. Good answer. Yeah, I was curious about that.
Yep, it's for me. I've been in bands before. I'm just like I'm a kind of a person who just feels like I always want to create things. You know, like I always have ideas and I always have thoughts and come up with stuff. And it's like my art. It's my expression. I want to put it out there. I've always tried to bring my ideas to the table in bands, only where they don't want me to bring my ideas to the table, and I'm losing points for that. So it really wasn't like working out that way. And so I spent a few years just writing songs on my own, but I never had like the confidence or even thought that I could even sing or do anything like that. I'm like, no thanks. So for my last project, I had somebody do the vocals, even though I wrote all the vocal parts and everything. So it's like what I'm doing now, but had somebody else who was a singer use their voice for my vocals instead. But then I am at the mercy of when he has time to fill in the songs. And I don't want to be bottlenecked by anyone or anything. I just want to write songs and just continue to write like nonstop. And that's sort of my thing, why I just stay solo. And, if I go on stage, I'll either pay somebody or I'll have friends who will do it. I'll still like pay them, but I won't have to like look around for them. Now I do have a lot of musician friends, so I just maybe borrow them from other bands or something just to do some shows. Who knows? I don't. Just going with the flow.
There you go. That's cool, man. I dig it.
Mm-hmm. It's fun to me.
That's
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
I have a recording app on my phone, and I just all day long I think of songs and then I just record it like with my voice or something and revisit it later, or I'll just be sitting on the bed at night, when just killing a couple minutes before going to sleep. I have a little amp by my bed with the guitar, and so I'll just noodle around on it, and if I come up with a cool riff, I'll record that in my phone. And then when I have time, I have a home studio set up. I'll go in there and go back to one of my ideas or whatever, but I'll go to work and then I'll just listen to all of my recordings all day long while I work. Oh, this is good, or ooh, this could go with this or anything. So there's hundreds of them. Like they just don't stop coming. There's like some songs I think are better than the ones that are out now that I don't even know if they'll even make it, because by the time I get to it, I'm already way up here with something I think is even better. So I don't know. It's just crazy. That's why I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm just trying to do it as quick as I can, because I don't want to lose the momentum and then have some of these things that I think are great never see the light of day.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
It's definitely different.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
the ones that are yet to come are even more different.
Okay, well, I look forward to hearing it. 'Cause I really do like the Cold Wave.
That's a great song. It's a
I do
great
like
song.
that.
Yeah.
There's a new one that drops on the 27th called Sabotage. So it comes out,
Oh.
it's on a Wednesday instead of a Friday. Songs usually drop on Fridays. This one's dropping on my son's birthday because it was like his favorite song when I was writing it. So he was taking the demo with him everywhere and jamming it, you know, couldn't get enough of it. I'm like, it's not even done. It's like a half a song. He just didn't care, you know? So it wasn't what I was going to release next, but I figured it would probably be nice to do that.
A good gift too.
Yeah. The first song I released was called Desire to Hate, and that came out on one of my other kids' birthdays as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
Cool.
just kind of I'm trying to make them line up with things.
Where can people find your music at?
It's any streaming platform, it'll be there. You can go to chemicalempire.com. There's the links. That's like my Linktree page, basically. So you can go there and use it to find all the different places that are updated.
Okay. I had a question and then I forgot it. So there went that question.
That's me every day. So
Yeah.
all day, every day, all
all
day.
day. And that makes me so mad because I just thought of it. We were talking about, okay, I'm going to play another song. Maybe I'll think about it. Jeff, this is one of the bands that you sent me. Is it 12 Penny?
Yes. So this is Lyle Douglas. He's the lead singer for another band called Jimmy Speed. And they're out of Huntsville, Alabama. And himself and his drummer have started this side project now called 12 Penny. And it kicks butt pretty hard, man. So I'm excited for everybody to hear it.
Let's go.
All right. It's
Roll that baby.
I think you lied to me.
Yeah.
That's good.
On the TV screen, sick and died from the chemistry. They listened to a one-eyed jack and fell prey to a vicious lie attack. Got the force deep in my veins. The way you preach, it makes me insane. And all around the world you say, you better get back into your decade. We can make the world go crazy, 'cause that's what you say. When you say you're behind, I think you lied to me. I think you lied to me. The evil coming from the wrong way. The man said I'd be okay. Now I live in a world of black. I made my mind and I won't go back. Propaganda flows through the waves. It embeds inside my brain, telling me to hide away and get back to the days that I could change. We can make the world go crazy, 'cause that's what you say. When you say you're behind, I think you lied to me. I think you lied to me. Come on.
That was straight
Yeah.
out of the 90s.
I
Right?
kind of like
But it's great. I like it.
Yeah.
it kicks
Yeah, very
ass,
good.
man. Yeah. So his
There's not
other
a lot
bands,
of new.
yeah. Go ahead.
There's not a lot of new rock bands, rock songs coming out that have that rock and roll vibe anymore. A lot of it is more like the metalcore, screaming
Yeah.
and technical playing and that stuff. Like and then it's a lot of like clone music too, where everybody's like, oh, this band did really good. Let's all sound like them. But something like this that comes out where it's like, okay, like they remember like this is rock and roll. They got that like, in your face riffing, memorable riffs. That's another thing too that a lot of music doesn't have. You can't go into the Guitar Center or whatever and noodle around in the guitars and amps, start playing like some intro riffs and people know what it is. That stuff's been missing in music for years. Something like this where it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. You got the harmonics on the main riff, and you know what I mean? Even you got
Yeah.
some like shreddy in the solo. That was cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And like the verse, at first when I heard the verse, I'm like, oh, is this kind of like, to me it felt real like 9 Inch Nail-y. I don't know why. It had that like vibe, but then when it changed in the chorus into that like upbeat rock and roll, like party time vibe, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, so I like that. That's good.
Yeah. I like those guys, man. They're fantastic. And
I
yeah,
hope
that's
they heard that.
Yeah, they will. I'll pitch it to them, man. So I was gonna play them earlier on my radio show. For some reason, the songs didn't end up in my playlist, so I wasn't able to play them. So I'm glad we're able to do it here. And I know they were trying to listen to the show and probably like, he didn't play me, you know what I mean? But I play his other bands, Jimmy Speed. So you guys go look for those two bands, 12 Penny and Jimmy Speed. They're both. Lyle Douglas is the front man, guitar, lead singer, vocals. He's really good, man. Both of those bands are good, and I love the 12 Penny right there. I'm like you, the harmonic right there with the guitar riff, man, is amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's something different, right? It's like,
yeah,
I haven't heard.
And you
heard
don't
that.
have to have all that technical, like so much going on. You don't have to have that to have a good song. Sometimes simpler and cleaner is better.
Right.
You have a bigger audience too. Like, I'm not saying that that's what that was, but I'm saying compared to a lot of the newer songs out there, that was a pretty simple, basic, riff, but it still brought it,
Brought the heat, man.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. That was the first time hearing it. So
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
This is it. This
I
is
was
the new
going to
review
ask
show.
you.
Yes. Hey, we can do it,
Yeah.
man.
That's what we do on Sundays usually.
Gotta play a few songs.
Bring in new
talk
music
about it.
and then we listen. Yeah, talk about it.
Awesome.
I was gonna ask you. So your art for your songs and stuff. Where do you come up with that?
Right out of the head.
Yeah.
That's like his nightmares.
Yeah. I right now a lot of it kind of draws from horror imagery. The first one was the first song that came out was called Desire to Hate, and it was just about being pushed so much, that you need to just let it out. Don't be afraid to be what you're going to be. Embrace it and just be it. And then in the end of the day, it's healthier for you, So even if it means having a little bit of rage or whatever, like let it out, And so here it is right here. You can see, there's the guy, and then his shadow is like the monster inside of
like
him.
a monster.
Like,
yeah, that's cool.
trying
man.
to puppeteer him, yep. And then like Cold Wave, it was facing off against that that depression in the form of like a demon. So you could see it on your Spotify, the cover art there. And then the next one, the cover art, which is all over my social media right now for Sabotage, which is the idea was there's the character, which the characters aren't just like characters. I always make them like weird or like creature like. but the character there, and then breaking out of him is, you know, a smaller version of him, and it's like coming out when you're in like a constant battle with yourself about, you know, whether you're not secure or, you know, just a lot of people don't truly love themselves fully, so you're always like, you know, just feeling down, just not happy with things. Just you have to get past that. And so Sabotage is a song about, you know, moving on and dealing with those things. So I thought it was cool. Actually, there's a music video being made right now, but it's not like where I'm in it, you know, playing
Right.
instruments and all that. It's an artistic music video for that whole theme. So it's pretty sweet so far, but that should be coming out soon too.
Gonna need you to email me
I
this
like-
track, man, so I can get it on the radio. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I send out a bulk email to all the online stations with the new songs every time they drop. So just with the email that I gave you, send me whatever
Mhm.
email you want to get it every time a song drops, and I'll add it to the list.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I can do that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be helpful. I could totally do that. I got to remember the dash.
It did it. I don't know why. It's because it took 2 lines, so it put the dash there. I was like, why?
Yeah.
They know.
It's all good.
Sabotage. It was sabotage.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
I hate my phone. I'm in a constant battle with it. I hate you. The thing, I swear, every update on my
but
phone,
really though,
it makes me look dumber and dumber. I'll type something correctly, and it'll go back and just mess it all up as I'm pressing
Yeah.
send.
I'm a high piper. Does anybody that's watching have any questions for Matt here? And don't forget to check out his stuff on YouTube and Spotify. Look up Chemical Empire. I think you could probably Google it and everything should pop up.
Well, I think I'm the only Chemical Empire, so yeah,
Yeah.
good chance.
So,
Yep.
so
Y'all go
should be able to get
subscribe, man.
everything.
Go subscribe to his stuff. Add him to your playlist and everything, man, on Spotify and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things, not just songs, but trying to make it like every
Yeah.
form of media that I can touch on to put this all together and just make it, I guess, like an experience more than just music. So we'll see. So you got to follow if you want to see the good stuff.
That's right.
Uncensored. Must be 18.
Uncensored.
I like that.
That's
yeah.
crazy though. That about that. I like the album stuff. About the album art, and I really like the fact that you're making a video of. Ouch! Stop. I like the fact that you're making a video, not just like so focused on like the instrumental parts and stuff. Like you're actually having a
Right.
story. And I love getting on YouTube and watching stuff like that. I'm really weird. So I will lay in bed for hours and
Yeah.
watch those videos and people that have like those stories on there. So I like that.
Yeah, you know, you're forming your identity as the first few songs come out. So some people set their expectations to, you know, based off the first couple songs, and then when you start doing other things, then they either get disappointed or, oh, that's not what I was expecting. But every song can't be that heavy, fast paced, you know, heavy hitter banger. Not everyone can be in your face. Like, it's going to come down at some point. There's going to be a mix of everything, you know, and then, you know, maybe like the first song that came out, you're like, I just love the energy, the high energy, the, you know, positive vibes or whatever. But some of the stuff like I'm going to like do, it's like, okay, that's kind of freaky a little bit, or, you know, maybe somebody might take offense to it or whatever, but I'm not, like, you have to realize, like, I'm the kind of person that doesn't really care. Like, I don't care if somebody goes in my comments and shits on me or whatever. I
Right.
don't care. Like, I'm going to do all this shit, and just because I want to, just because I want to see how people will react, and, you know, make them think like, oh man, this guy is cool, or oh man, fuck this guy. Like I don't care either way. I just want
That's
a
right, yeah.
reaction, you know, and I want to do something different, not put myself in the box and not follow everybody else's template. Like we're doing our own thing here. So, and having fun. That's the main thing. Having fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And
Life
when I
to the
grew up,
fullest.
like, yeah, I'm like 41 years old. So my music was like the 90s, you know,
Right.
like 90s post grunge and industrial and even new metal. I was really into that when it was out. And still actually listen to some of it today, but whatever. So the bands that kind of like influenced me, besides when I first started playing, obviously were like the older bands. Like I did like Pink Floyd, I did like Zeppelin, Van Halen, like Metallica. Obviously, everybody playing guitar does the Metallica for a while. You know, I still like them, but I'm saying like really get into it. And then after that, it was like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Tool was a big one. I used to really like Marilyn Manson a lot. Godsmack, Disturbed, you know. So this sort of thing. I'm talking about before like Linkin Park, before all those guys. It was just like that little like era. I think is where music was starting to, or especially rock metal was starting to find like that sweet spot. The sweet spot actually between rock and metal, where it's not too heavy, but it's still heavier than the stuff that was coming out in like the 80s. And then I think that like the early 2000s really honed in on that. And that's why everybody who came out then, every song that they put out was like a banger. You're like, oh my God, it's so good. Or full albums were so good. And that was like, you know, Chevelle was one of the big ones I liked. Finger 11 I liked. I did like 3 Days Grace a lot when they were coming out. When Breaking Benjamin came out, you know, and it was a little bit, they were like the new heavy thing. And it's like, oh my God, like that stuff was really good. And there's like so many bands, you know, but I'm just speaking more like the popular ones. But Seether, every song that they dropped was that, you know, bringing the heat. It's like, oh my God. Or the full album from front to end was like, oh, and none of these songs are like the same. They all have their own identity. And they go together, like they flow. Like some bands have had some really good albums where it's like from start to finish, it flowed so good. This is like, you know, it felt like a story or a soundtrack to something, you know, like, oh, it's like, I can feel like a story in this versus you just have made 12 singles. And then after the 12th one came out, you package them together and that's your album. It's just 12 singles. There's, you know, there's no connection or anything between the songs. So they don't mean as much. So as I write my songs, I have another app that does playlists. It's just for songs downloaded on my phone. And so I organize them in order. I'm like, okay, what's the next song in the story? This. So I can't go heavy. I need to be like heavy, bring it down, you know? So I'm so, excuse me. I'm creating the vibe, you know, it's purposeful, but you'll see. If, like I said, I did do that Dead Echoes project. That's on Spotify. The album's called Twin Flames. It was about a divorce I went through. I wrote it in real time. So from the beginning where it started falling apart to the end where it was done with, you know, and that, like, if you listen to it, and I'm not saying all songs are amazing because, you know, I'm always growing and getting better, but they tell the story and you can hear it. You're like, okay, it fits. And I've always been like that. I've always been an album person, you know, because I grew up listening to strong albums that did that.
Right.
You know, and I'm waiting for these newer bands to go back to that and start making these strong albums. But because of the way that it works, especially with Spotify, where you have to basically release a new song every 6 to 8 weeks to get picked up by the algorithm. And if you don't, it's like getting kicked back to start, you know, where you have to do it all over again, release 3 or 4 songs before they pick you up. You have to stay on that momentum to keep going and growing. So if you release everything you had on one album, and then it's going to take a while before you get, some more songs out, because when you drop an album, Spotify only counts that as one song. That's your one release. They don't count it as 15 releases. It's one, and then you have to hurry up. You don't have enough time to, let that album sink in. You have to hurry up and put something else out. So if you notice, there's a lot of bands out there. One off the top of my head is like Papa Roach, so they drop an album, and then throughout the life of the album, you have these special versions of the songs. Like, oh, here's an acoustic one, or here's one with a guest singer from another band like Hollywood Undead, or here's this, or here's that. So then they keep doing that for the life of that album, and that's how they stay relevant on the platform. So it's craziness, and it's just shit that musicians don't really want to have to like think about or do. And that's why they're just, well, we'll just do one song at a time, and just keep dropping singles. And that's the way that the easiest way, especially for the budget, because you're not going to drop all that money on an album every 6 to 8 weeks. It gets pricey.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a lot of money.
Yeah.
My cat is just being crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's right here. You can't see it, but it's staring at me.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Mine's just being, I don't know what the problem is. Maybe she just needs
Evil
to
cat.
Yeah. It's so pretty though. I think we'll end the live in general, but we'll go ahead and play your song again for everyone to hear it. And go follow you and wait for your new songs to drop, because I'm excited. I can't wait for the YouTube video.
Yeah. It's halfway done. I was hoping it would be ready before the
and I
single
appreciate
drops,
you coming on.
Yeah.
Well,
I talk a lot.
I'll be
That's the
watching.
thing.
That's for sure.
It's okay.
Yeah, you could just be like, Matt, shut the fuck up.
Shut up, bro.
Shut up. Shut up.
No. Listen, you are not. No.
No, that's why
You're
we
fine.
got you on here,
Trust
man.
me.
Yeah. No, you're doing great.
Oh, because
yeah.
you're like, oh, he's a big mouth. Let's get him.
Yeah, he can talk, and we can just watch and nod our heads, and yeah.
He's like,
Let him do all the work. Yeah.
We're nodding our heads at you talking, but in my headphones is one of these other songs playing. That's why I'm
Yeah.
nodding my head.
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
No, this is cool.
No,
I
I
appreciate
really do.
it.
I like absolutely. And it's also good to just have different outputs of, things. Everyone thinks about it. Everyone thinks about,
Mhm.
Everything that you had talked about. People just don't talk
Yeah.
about it. So you're just
That's
out
the
here.
problem. Like,
Tell people how you
yeah,
feel
I'll
and
say
live it.
how it is. I don't care, but I know a lot of these guys have a lot more on the line than I do. So I'll be the voice. That's fine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate you coming on, and you were super awesome, and I look forward to all the new stuff. And Jeff and I will do our best to play your music. I'm only DJ with Rockstar Radio, but Jeff is a DJ with a couple.
Yep.
If you want to talk about that for a
Yeah,
second.
so I do a Sunday show that was just before this on Rockstar Radio from 5 to 7 every Sunday. It's called the Indie Rock Revolution. I play all independent artists. I mean, that's where my passion is. I want to play people like Matt, Chemical Empire. You know what I mean? I want to give them an outlet where we can get other people to hear them. And then I do a show on Tuesdays, which it's just switched radio stations, but it's been around for 2 years now, and it's called the Tuesday Pump Session, and it's now on OTAT247.com, which is a new radio station that some of us from the old radio station kind of came together and formed. And it's the entire radio station is all independent artists all the time. There's
Awesome.
there's nothing but independent artist music on that station, and it's a non-profit as well. We're not trying to make any money there
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
I can tell you that we all appreciate that.
Yeah. But yeah, for sure, man. And as long as it's okay, I'll send. We can get your music into rotation at OTAT 24/7 too, and
Yeah.
it's 24-hour streaming, man. So I'll shoot it to Dave and Lisa and let them get it, man, where they can put it into the rotation. You know.
Yeah, right on.
Awesome, man. Yeah, hell yeah. I know they like it, so yeah, I know they like your music, so that's exciting.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you guys.
Yes, thank you so much. We're gonna play his song again.
Yeah.
I'm
thank
ready.
you.
I'm ready.
Yep, we're gonna play it, and then we're just gonna vanish.
Whew.
To the vocals. I want to hear you rock out.
Love you too, Melissa. Hey, the bad girl's here.